What's up, guys? Welcome back to Between the Pylons. I'm John Camacho. Thank you so much for watching. And today we are talking about the Arizona Cardinals defense and how they attacked the Seattle Seahawks offense in the big time moments in this game. It was a huge factor in why Arizona was able to win this game. It was a huge factor in why the Seahawks were not able to go down and score in overtime at the end of the game. And I do think that every other defense in the NFL that has to face the Seahawks is going to look at what the Arizona Cardinals did in these last couple downs and really consider employing it in big moments of the game. And I'm going to get into what they did, how they did it, and how I think it could be used throughout the NFL by other defenses facing this highly potent offensive attack for the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, so here we are, and this is the first clip I'm going to show you, and this is the defense that really we're going to be focusing on in this video. This is actually 3rd and 5 in the middle of the third quarter, I believe, and this was the first time that we saw the Arizona Cardinals run this type of formation pre-snap, right? And this is actually the exact same play that you're going to see in the very last meaningful play of the game, where the Cardinals get the interception on Russell Wilson in overtime, and I will be showing that a little bit later on. But I actually want to show it from this angle right here. You'll see, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys right on the line. Any one of these guys could be blitzing. Realistically, only 6 are going to go because you do have 5 out wide, and no defense is going to leave one wide receiver completely uncovered. Looks like a blitz. Looks like a blitz. Well, right here, instead of blitzing any one of these 4 in the middle, they all rush out and rush to different sides of the field to play zone coverage, kind of this underneath zone, to basically take away any crossing routes, essentially, right? All these guys are speedy linebackers. They're taking away every single crossing route. And then on top of that, they rush Budda Baker, who I would assume pre-snap you're thinking isn't going to rush. And he gets a free shot at the quarterback here. And Russell Wilson's really good at football, so he's able to make Budda Baker miss. But at the end of the day, Budda Baker gets the amount of pressure that's needed for Hassan Reddick to come in and kind of finish the job. Doesn't get the sack, obviously, but it's a throwaway and end of down. The goal of the defense was done. They got off the field on 3rd and 5. There's also a blitz on the other side with whoever, I'm not exactly sure who that is blitzing on the other side. Either way, they're rushing 4 as opposed to rushing 6 like it was shown, but it was this artificial extra blitz that really got a free blitzer. And that's what I love seeing NFL defenses do. Confuse these offensive linemen, man. You just put 2 on 1, essentially. Instead of putting 6 on 5, you put 2 on 1 off the edge. You have one of the better safeties in the league getting a free shot at Russell Wilson.
All right, so that was the first time they used this defensive formation against the Seattle Seahawks. That was the midway point of the third quarter in a big-time 3rd and 5 situation against the Seahawks. They did it again a couple times in the fourth quarter, but then I'm going to skip over here to the first or second time that I saw it used in overtime, and then we're going to talk about the last 4 downs of offensive play for the Seattle Seahawks and what the Cardinals did every single time.
Here you're going to see the same thing in overtime. And again, I want to show you there's 7 guys right on the line of scrimmage. You have 4 deep, and really it looks like they're playing man-to-man, 1, 2, 3, 4 man-to-man, and they're going to rush every single one of these guys. Now, you got to think at this point, the Seahawks have seen this, all right? So they saw a blitz like this come in the fourth quarter. But here again, you're going to see basically the same thing. Now, instead of 7, you'll see they will rush 6. Hassan Reddick is man-to-man on Greg Olsen instead of blitzing. And the safety here is actually looking at Tyler Lockett. So Tyler Lockett is actually doubled on this play. And again, this is just one of those things where you're risking a lot here. Right here, Russell Wilson has every single man blocked and has a chance to go downfield and complete the pass, and it is completed, obviously. That is the risk for running this play. It is not something for the fan of heart. You have to have a defensive coordinator that really believes in their defensive backs to cover, and then also you have to have a guy who really, really believes in their defensive line to get pressure, because if that pressure doesn't come like it doesn't here, any good quarterback is going to get a completion down the field, because it's really, really hard to guard man-to-man for that long in the NFL. Right here, you're going to see the same exact thing, and this is the second of 3 times that they run this defense. I'll show it right here. Same exact play from earlier. They were able to get a sack. This is the exact same play. All these guys come out. The nickel corner comes in completely unblocked. And what's crazy is Greg Olsen actually stays in to block and is so focused on Hassan Reddick coming off the corner, doesn't even pay attention to the nickel corner here. That admittedly, we'll go back to this. The nickel corner does look like he's playing man. Like he looks like he's manned up on Tyler Lockett here, which would make sense. Like that makes the most logical sense on what you would do. No, instead he rushes, and then you have the linebacker just rushing to the spot of where Tyler Lockett is, and really just trying to take away this crossing route.
Okay, so now I'm going to skip ahead to the last 4 defensive plays for the Arizona Cardinals. So this was late in overtime. The Seahawks have gotten the ball back. They're trying to go score. We're right in the middle of the field, and you're going to see the last 4 plays before Russell Wilson inevitably does throw the interception that gets returned, and then Arizona is able to go win that game. So that's where we're going to go next.
And here, again, you're going to see another all-out blitz. You're gonna see 22 come down, and if you look, let's cut back. We'll see what the defense is doing here. Right here, pre-snap, looks like it's man-to-man, and they're gonna blitz, right? And granted, you know that they could jump out of that, but Russell Wilson knows there's 2 options. Either they're all gonna fly out, and there's going to be a bunch of zone coverage, and he's gonna have hopefully a second because the running back by now has been told, hey, be prepared for this outside corner blitz. Or he's thinking that it's going to be 7-on-7 because he's going to keep his running back and his tight end to block. He'll have 3 receivers on the right side, essentially leaving man coverage 3-on-3 because this corner would be basically on an island by himself, guarding no one. So watch how this play plays out, because that is essentially what happens. He's guarding nobody there unless somebody runs into his section of the field. Right here, I don't think there's an excuse. You have 1-on-1 with DK Metcalf, you throw that ball there. Because regardless of what happens, you know DK is really, really good at coming down with those balls. And even if he doesn't, you are scaring the shit out of Vance Joseph. You are scaring the shit out of him because everybody in the NFL already knows what this DK dude can do. He is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL already. Throw it up there. It doesn't matter. 50-50 ball. Take your shot. Even if it doesn't get completed, it still scares the shit out of Vance Joseph and the rest of the Cardinals. But here, let me show this again. Look, we know what's going to happen, right? We know the running back and tight end are staying into block. We know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys are rushing. So that's essentially leaving a 4-on-3 to the wide receivers that are not pictured here. And they all rush, and Russell Wilson has a chance. Yes, this running back kind of has a very shitty block. DJ Dallas, rookie running back out of the 4th round out of Miami. Not a great pass defender. Just it is what it is. And we'll actually show you something else from the next play to show how bad he is at pass protection. Really just whiffs on this corner blitz, and he's able to get here. But like I was saying earlier with Russell, right here, it looks like he's about to throw, and then you can see he gets scared and he looks down at the pressure, right? You can really see that. I'm going to slow this down as much as I can. Like he's looking, and then he looks down right there. He looks down, and then he kind of tries to reset in the pocket, and then obviously the blitz gets to him at that point. Looking, looks down, blitz gets to him. I get it. I'm not like Russell Wilson's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, so this is not me shitting on Russell Wilson. It's just that just is what it is. It's a very nitpicky thing to say about Russell Wilson, and I do not want to be the guy on YouTube or anywhere else shitting on Russell Wilson because he is truly one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch on a weekly basis. But here we go. Next play. You see, this is kind of the same situation. You got 4 out wide. You see the play. I just want to show it real quick. They blitz this extra corner here, so it is truly a 1-on-1 matchup. And I think what DJ Dallas is seeing, he's seeing this corner get blitzed. We saw earlier in the game where the corner blitz was working, the nickel corner blitz. So he's coming across Russell Wilson's body to protect against that corner blitz. But let me show you this. He obviously misses somebody. Look at this right here. This is unacceptable. I understand the coaching. He had to have been told on the sidelines, hey, prepare for the corner blitz, because as I showed you early in this play, they were getting destroyed by this corner blitz. So they're like, hey, you need to be prepared for the nickel corner to come in and blitz, even if it doesn't look like it. So that's what he's looking for. That's the only thing he's looking for. And he misses the guy that just goes right through the A gap, doesn't even touch him, gets a free shot at Russell Wilson. Obviously incomplete pass. And next play. I mean, just look at this. That is, if you're a Cardinals fan, that's got to be the funniest thing in the world to you. If you're a Seahawks fan, I'm sorry. Like I said, I kind of explained it. It's not maybe as bad as it looks if you have the context, but that is still pretty bad. All right, we'll move on. Now we're in 3rd and 10. Here we go. And I think if you guys watch the game, you know what this play is. Again, this is not exactly the same look, but it is a blitz. This linebacker right here is not directly on the line like he has been in most of these plays. Again, though, they're showing man-to-man everywhere. It doesn't look like they're scared of the deep attack, which is crazy to me. But they're playing man-to-man across the board, and they actually blitz. So it is a true man-to-man with no help over top. And you'll see, obviously, they're prepared for it. This is a play they should have probably called earlier in the game. They might not have been in this situation, but you know, they had been getting blitzed. They've been getting attacked. Again, 3rd and 10. Hey, let's get the ball out to a playmaker and just get a couple yards. Oh wait, DK Metcalf's ridiculously good. Touchdown, game over, right? Well, not so much. Obviously, we know that. And I do want to show you again. This is a hold. I know Seahawks fans might not like me now because I've kind of said a couple things negative about this team, and I don't mean for them to, but this is a hold. That's clearly a hold. He's holding right there. He's holding. Corner has to completely turn around to get away from him. You know, in my opinion, I think the corner does get to DK and probably is able to knock him out. Is he able to knock him out before it's a first down? I don't know. I still think probably if it wasn't a hold at all, but even if he just let goes right here, right? Like if he let goes, that probably isn't called, and it might have been enough room for DK to still get out there and make the play. I don't know. We'll obviously never know. But either way, gets called back. Now we have 3rd and 14. All right, and here we are with the last play of the game. Now, you guys probably know how this ends. This is going to be an interception. And as I foreshadowed earlier in this video, this is not going to be the blitz. This is the one time that they're not going to blitz and all these linebackers are going to come out into coverage. But first, I want to get to the pre-snap read, right? I would assume that Russell Wilson is at least thinking that he's going to get blitzed here. And some way or another, he's right. He is going to get blitzed. Now, we have the benefit of hindsight, but I'm going to ask you just for a second to imagine that he doesn't know exactly what's going to happen. And I look at what he must think's going to happen because he has 4 wide receivers out and he sees 4 defensive backs out in the field. But really the true indicator to me would be this safety who's lined up 15 to 20 yards away from the slot receiver who would presumably be the guy that he would be man-to-man on if we have 6 or 7 guys blitzing, as I assume Russell Wilson has to be thinking because it's happened the past 3 plays in a row. That to me is a big indicator and probably should have been a big indicator for Russell Wilson. So we know that he is not a man-to-man. He is playing the true safety position, and all these linebackers are about to flood all of the zones as we've seen 2 other times in this game. Again, same exact play. You see they blitz their corners. All the linebackers go out, and really, I'm not exactly sure. There must have been some kind of miscommunication. I think really what that was is he's thinking he's getting a blitz, so he's just kind of throwing it up. Though linebackers following the ball the whole way. He doesn't know where anybody else is, obviously. So great play on the ball, regardless of where it was thrown. But where was that planning on going? You can't really say on this angle. You can't really see right here. Was Moore here supposed to cut in as well? And was this a anticipation play? And I don't know. I have no idea what the plan was here. Obviously, Russell had this back. It's an instant throw to DK, right? Like just look over at DK. There's nobody within 10 yards of him. And really, there was a couple big takeaways from this game. For the Seattle Seahawks, first of all, they should have targeted DK Metcalf more. In my opinion, he is an absolute difference maker. He is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL already. He's just a physical freak. He is a jump ball mastermind. He has the speed to break a play at any part of the field. So that is the type of game-breaking ability that you should absolutely target. You should absolutely exploit. And you should use not only
to make plays, but to scare your defense. I think a lot of times if they would have called a jump ball play when the Cardinals called this type of defense, it would have backed the Cardinals off. It would have scared Vance Joseph into calling these plays specifically 4 times in a row in overtime on the biggest drive of the game. I really think if they would have seen some jump ball calls, so the balls for the Seahawks to say, fuck it, we'll take this down to a mono play call, I really believe they might not have called the game the same way in these final moments. And I believe there's a really good chance that the game may have gone a different way. With that being said, we have to flip it over to the Cardinals and talk about what they did, because I think that is really the impressive part of the game. First of all, I don't think the Cardinals came into this game with that mindset. I don't think Vance Joseph came into this game planning to call that many blitzes, that many one-on-one situations with their corners on islands versus these wide receivers and Russell Wilson's ability to make a play, extend a play. I don't think that was the plan. And really, I think they kind of came upon it accidentally. They called it in a big time moment on 3rd and 5 where all those linebackers back off in the third quarter. But that was the first time we saw that in any fashion, right? So move on to the fourth quarter. We see it again here and there. And I think in the fourth quarter is really where they realized, oh, this works. It's a scary play call because you are leaving guys one-on-one, guys like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett one-on-one. That has to be a scary thought. But it was a ballsy move. And really looking forward, I think there's 2 things that need to be brought up. One, not every team is going to be willing to do this against the Seattle Seahawks. Not every team is going to be willing to risk the big play potential that's going to happen, especially in overtime. To be perfectly honest, if I put myself in those shoes, I don't think I would have had the balls to do what Vance Joseph did in the overtime periods of this game, where you're really laying it all on the line saying, hey, we're putting guys one-on-one. We are taking a chance that Russell Wilson isn't going to get out of this blitz. We are going all in on this play call in the biggest moments of the game in overtime. So that was awesome, and I commend Vance Joseph for doing that. And I do not think that every coach, defensive coordinator, what have you, would do that. The second thing is not every team has the personnel to do that. First of all, Budda Baker was a huge difference maker in this game. They played him in the box a ton. They blitzed him off the edge a ton, and it worked. It worked really well. There is not a Budda Baker on every single team. Now, there are still fast corners that can still probably get away with that. But the other part that you need to have corners on the outside that can man up against DK Metcalf and that you can trust, because not a lot of corners can. We saw DK Metcalf make Stephon Gilmore look silly against the Patriots. And then we see him go up against Patrick Peterson, who we know is an absolute stud, but a lot of people have said, myself included, admittedly, that he is in the tail end of his career and he is not capable of this island coverage that we saw last week. That is what I came into this game thinking, and coming out of it thinking very differently. I will 100% admit that. Cardinals can do that. Not every team has a lockdown corner. Not every team has the speed off the edge. And also, to a lesser extent, Hassan Reddick, I think, was a big factor in this play call. Hassan Reddick has the ability to man up on a tight end such as Greg Olsen or Nick Vannett or whoever it would have been at the tight end position for the Seattle Seahawks. That's not his natural position. He really thrives as an edge rusher who rushes the quarterback, but he can play in space. He did it for the first couple of years of his career in the NFL. That's what he was drafted to do for the Cardinals, even though that wasn't his college position. His college position was putting a hand in the dirt for the most part and rushing the quarterback, but he can do it. It's not crazy to think that the Cardinals would ask him to do it in certain situations. And I think that is a little bit of difference maker, because not every team has the defensive end that you are even remotely willing to put out in space versus a tight end. So that also, to a lesser extent, is a difference maker. But at the end of the day, the Seattle Seahawks are an incredibly interesting team to watch. I think they are a team that is going to be competitive for that Super Bowl spot at the end of the day, regardless of how this game goes. I do think they will have to shore up some protection issues that I pointed out in this video. I do think other teams are going to look at what the Cardinals did, and they are going to try and exploit it the exact same way the Cardinals did. I'm very excited to see what other defenses do to the Seattle Seahawks football team, because the Cardinals may have given a blueprint of how to slow down or stop this Seattle Seahawks offense. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Please, it really helps me out. Hit me up on Twitter at Between Pylons if you want to talk some football. I always love just talking football with just about anybody. Check out the podcast right here. Every single Wednesday it comes out. You can also subscribe on your favorite podcast listening app. That would really help us out as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on the next film study video I should do, leave it in the comments. I'm so interested to see what you guys think about this video, what you guys would like to see more of. Let me know. Always interested. Try to be very active in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace out.